Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back to Sully's Models. So, in this video, part 2, we are looking at basically finishing the main build. Obviously the first episode, apart from looking at the kit itself, was building the cockpit section. So obviously in this video is the continuation from that. So we're looking at basically putting it all together. And also looking at some of the small parts, a few extra photo-etched upgrades that go into it, and some of them are quite cool and it's quite sad. But to be honest with you, I'm not saying this is not in other kits, but there's a few bits and pieces that I have not seen anywhere else. I'm probably completely wrong on that, but like I says, I've not done a kit that has got some of the level of photo-etched parts that I have actually seen in any of the kits, as I said before. So, without me babbling on, obviously, anymore, we'll get into the kit. So we're starting off with the lower wing section, which has got quite a number of parts to go into it to make up the wheel well section. A little bit fiddly, because there's not really much of sort of like recesses or anything, to sort of start with, apart from sort of like the main spar that runs across. But once you start getting parts in, makes it a lot easier from there. But the detailing, even though you can't really see it, is pretty superb in this area. So, when you get to see it, it's quite nice to look at. So what I've decided to do is thin out the ejection slips to make them look a bit more accurate. Not that it really matters, but it's something I like to do. But you want to keep checking it up against some light so you can see it like this, which means that you've got it basically about right, otherwise you're going to go too far. To clean it up a little bit, using some Tamiya extra thin glue that takes out any of that excess swath. The wheelbays, using panel liner, again, same as in the cockpit, and a bit of white spirits to clean that up. Next up was the putting the two halves of the wings together. Nothing really exciting here. It was a really nice fit, and not really all that much cleaning up. Fitting the wings to the main fuselage also was pretty uneventful. There's a little bit of a pinch, but I actually think this is probably the best fit I have had putting wings onto a fuselage, and very especially on a Spitfire. So I'm very pleased putting all that together. Like I say, it's really uneventful. Until we come to the nose panel. Now, for some reason, this part was made into two parts. Really annoyed me. So using some Tamiya putty and a bit of masking tape to sort of reduce on how much mess I make, and then try and sand it down. As you can see in that previous photo, that was the first attempt. I think I spent about 2 or 3 days trying to get this out, because I was getting quite frustrated, so I had to keep coming back to it. But eventually we got there and got that seam line out. It says it was a right pain in the backside. But also covered up, as you can see, a couple of patches of tape there to try and cover up some of the detailing in there. Otherwise we'd have lost it, and had to try and scribe all that back in. The tailplane went together nice and easily. It was a very good fit, with the same as pretty much the rest of the model. so far. The exhaust stubs were a little bit fiddly. As you can see, I used a bit of white tack to hold it down so I could stick all these parts together because there was no locating pins. It's quite a fine part really, but you know, we got there in the end with a bit of perseverance. The radiators come in a numerous amount of parts. Again, with no locator pins, just a few recesses, you know, to put all this together. It was a little bit fiddly, but nothing major really. With the undercarriage, I decided to put a brake line in. It's really quick, easy and simple. Just a bit of very flexible copper wire and some super glue. Oh, also a bit of reference photo so I know I was putting it in the right place. Now comes one of the parts I was talking about at the start of this video. Now, I've seen mouldings in numerous kits and manufacturers of the catch on the door on the side of the aircraft, but I've never seen anyone before do any PE parts or brass etching for this particular piece. Now, as I said before, I'm not saying that nobody does them, but I've just never seen anybody do it. But when this went in and it was all done, it was a really nice detail to go in and really makes it really look really realistic. Very fiddly, admittedly, but you know, it looked really cool. Next was the second part of these fine little details. This was the quick release catch for the Canopy. It was a little bit fiddly to stick in, but got there in the end. But again, really cool little lad. So while I was on the Canopy, I thought might as well get it all masked and ready to go. So the kit comes with some masking. When I say some masking, does the front canopy, does the rear part of the canopy, but the bubble canopy part only comes with the edging. So what you'll either have to do is either fill it in with some extra masking tape, or as I did, some liquid mask. Also, if you want to check it out, I have actually done a quick tutorial on masking canopies. If you're not using pre-bought, pre-cut masks, and sort of basically making your own. So that'll be in the description with a link to that there. So there it is, it's all together and ready for some paint. So there you go, guys. That's the main body of the aircraft completed. So in the next episode, we will be looking at painting the model. With a bit of luck, I should hopefully get all this into one final video, so that'll be obviously painting and weathering. Get my words out tonight. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram as well. But again, guys, I very much appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.